So the Rochester Public Transit, with 650,000 rides given throughout the community, there are a lot of people who could be affected by these changes in routes, which is why the Amalgamated Transit Union, which I spoke with today, says it wants to make sure the city is making these decisions with care. Now, these changes in state and federal grant funding are actually happening throughout the country. As the ATU says, the federal government has been cutting some long-term grants to support public transportation like RPT. That's why the city has been trying to address this issue by altering routes and finding ways to run the service more efficiently, like last fall, when the city canceled 4 routes and altered over a dozen of the remaining 26. The Amalgamated Transit Union says it wants to be part of the conversation as it represents the city's drivers. As it says, these discussions can have a big impact whenever a route is altered or cut.
It helps to talk to those who actually do the service.
We need to have frequency, fair fares, if that's not a mouthful, and also consideration in the cuts we make, because we can't take people from fixed line and put them into ZIPs. It's going to be a financial burden on the ZIPs program. We can't keep passing the buck.
One example ATU gave was the recent removal back in the fall of 2025 of the Office of Veteran Affairs as a stop on Route 306. RPT is now having veterans use ZIP's paratransit to go to that location. It says that decision last year led to a large drop-off in riders on one of its more popular routes for veterans. That's why drivers hope they can be included in these conversations going forward as the city explores how to optimize RPT further. Back to you, Ryan.
All right, Evan, thank you very much for that live report. Now, the Rochester City Council will also be discussing a request for proposals for a new transit operations contract. The city could continue its existing transit operator, Transdev, or find another company.